Time for our live mailbag here on Chat Sports. Appreciate you guys that tune in live with us every Friday and very soon, twice a week. And if you want to get on the show, use hashtag NBA to get your questions up here, and we'll answer anything that you've got, just like Skirmish 1 did. This question coming from Skirmish says, 3-team trade here. Oh, gotta buckle in, and here we go. 3-team trade here. Golden State receives Jared Allen, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Rodion Kurucs. The Nets get Victor Oladipo, and the Pacers get the Warriors' second overall pick. Producer Brett's waving his head, shaking his head. He says no deal at all. I don't think the Nets do this, first of all. I don't even know if the Warriors do this one either. I don't think anybody does this trade. I think all 3 teams could say no. The Warriors probably get the closest to saying yes. Dinwiddie and Jared Allen, that's a solid haul. The Nets really like Oladipo, but giving up your second-best scorer and your best rim protector probably isn't going to do it. Pacers get number 2. Unless they really like LaMelo Ball, I don't really see any reason for them doing that. So, sorry, Skirmish. I don't think this one gets it done. Let's go to Drew Ruley with the old throwback Warriors logo. Says, why has no one talked about the Warriors trading for Andre Drummond? That's a good point. I really haven't seen anybody that says Andre Drummond would be a good fit for this Warriors team, because everybody says, oh, go get Miles Turner, or oh, go draft James Wiseman, or draft Onyeka Okongwu. But nobody's like, hey, go trade for Drummond of the Cleveland Cavaliers. But I'll tell you why. Because he doesn't fit today's NBA. He's not a player that fits this NBA or Steve Kerr's offense as a whole. What does Steve Kerr like to do? Run, gun, and shoot. You know what Andre Drummond doesn't do well? He doesn't run well. He doesn't gun well. He doesn't shoot well. It's not an Andre Drummond skill. It's not what he does. He's a back-to-the-basket, traditional big man that rebounds well. Very valuable on the right team. The Warriors are not the right team. And what are you going to trade for him? The second pick? Absolutely freaking not. I'm not trading my second pick for him. And the Cavs, I don't think they really want Wiggins all that much, so I just don't think it works, but it's at least something to talk about. Now, speaking of the Warriors and that number 2 pick, what do you think they should do with it? Should they keep it, or should they trade it for an established player? Type T for trade, type your K for keep. I still think they should trade it. I am in the boat that, hey, give it up. Try to win now with your window of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green for an established player, but don't just throw it away for anybody, like an Andre Drummond. Use it on somebody that you think can actually help you win right now, so be smart about it. But if you want to know what they're going to do with that, or what they're going to do with Wiggins, or what they're going to do in free agency, or anything else, make sure you subscribe to our Warriors-only channel. I love doing stuff over there. You Warriors fans are super passionate. Some of the best fans we have here on Chat Sports. Go to youtube.com/WarriorsTV. I'll be breaking down all things Warriors all the time with you guys on that channel. Will LaMelo drop out of the top 5? Amish, interesting that you asked this right now, because right before the show, I literally just talked about how he has been interviewing terribly among teams. And he's a Ball brother. Of course he hasn't been having good interviews. But here's the thing. I don't think he falls too far out of the top 5, if even out of the top 5. Look, if I'm the Hornets at 3, you take him number 3 overall. But let's say they pass on him. If he gets past the Hornets at 3, the Bulls aren't going to take him. That doesn't really make sense there with Zach LaVine and Kobe White. The Cavs aren't going to take him with Colin Sexton and Darius Garland at 5. The Hawks at 6 aren't going to take him with Trae Young. And then you get to 7, and that's Detroit. I don't think he falls past 7, but I think falling out of the top 5 is a very real possibility for LaMelo Ball in this year's draft if he keeps having as bad of interviews as people are saying. Let's go to Rohit with the question, do you think the Warriors should attempt to make a push for Karl-Anthony Towns? Of course they should try, but every team is probably going to try to make a push for Karl-Anthony Towns. Here's the problem. What do you have to offer the Timberwolves? The number 2 pick and Andrew Wiggins. The Timberwolves have already had Andrew Wiggins. They're not interested in bringing him back. And the number 2 pick, then you draft a big man to replace Towns, and what are you going to take Wiseman? James Wiseman's just a downgraded version of Karl-Anthony Towns. He can't even shoot like him yet. So I don't think the Warriors have what this takes. Also, they probably have to send back next year's pick. I mean, they'd have to send any asset that they have. Maybe throw in Draymond. I still don't think it gets it done. But interesting question. I don't think Towns is going to the Warriors anytime soon. Make sure you go and get an NBA face mask before the season returns December 22nd, because when it returns and when you're allowed to go back into NBA stadiums, you're going to have to wear one of these things on your face whether you like it or not. So go to chatsports.com/NBA mask. We'll have that link in the comments and in the description ready for you guys to go. You can get 1, 2 packs of 3 or packs of 4 at chatsports.com/NBA mask. Rogue Brothers asks, Paul George to the Warriors for Wiggins and Pascal, plus the second pick in the draft and the Timberwolves pick next year. That's interesting. That's a good trade, Rogue. It feels like a lot to give up if I'm the Warriors. I think the Warriors might say no in this situation. Maybe if you take out the Timberwolves pick, they could do it, but then I don't know if the Clippers do it. So it's pretty back and forth right now. I think the Clippers say absolutely yes to your idea. I don't know if the Timberwolves or if the Warriors do. But God, that's a good one. That one makes me think a little bit. I don't hate that one, but I think the Clippers say yes, Warriors say no in this situation. Now, if something like that trade happens or any kind of big trade, we're going to have it all for you here on Chat Sports at youtube.com/chatsportstv. Make sure you've subscribed. Make sure you've turned on your notifications. We're going to be live a lot this offseason. I want to say this summer, but I guess I don't do off-seasons in the summer anymore because of Rona. But here we are. So make sure you've subscribed. Make sure your notifications are on. We're going to have all the NBA updates for you all the time. Paul Christian coming in with the question, Kevin Love to Warriors, make a realistic trade idea. You guys, what do you think I am? You think I'm just like a living, breathing trade machine? I can't just do this off the top of my head. I got to look at salaries, but we're going to do it. I think it's got to be Wiggins. So I think Wiggins fulfills the prophecy of returning to Cleveland. Obviously, maybe the next year's Timberwolves pick, but that feels like a lot. I'm not giving up the number 2 pick for Kevin Love at this point in his career, and especially the money he's owed. That is so much money. If they're willing to do a Wiggins for Kevin Love swap again, sure, I'll do that. But I don't think it's very realistic because I'm not trading number 2 for Kevin Love. Too much money, too many injuries, doesn't really make sense in my opinion. Daniel Swartz says, worst team next year and why? Oh man, I did my power rankings I did my power rankings for. Oh no, that was for Giannis. That wasn't NBA power rankings. I think it's the Detroit Pistons. I think they're going to be so bad, man. They have Blake Griffin. They have Derrick Rose, but I think those guys will both get moved this offseason. And then your best player is my boy, Sekou Doumbouya. And if he's your best player, I love you, Sekou, but you're not good enough to get out of the worst seed in the NBA. So I'll go with the Pistons on that one.